Okay, so here is the original feed line that was on my truck, and over here, here's where it connects to the gas tank. The rubber hose right here was squirting fuel, like under the bed, up against the cab, and of course down here is where this is where it screws to the fuel filter. So there is a break point right there, and I really didn't want to replace the entire thing. I wanted to cut it like right here and put a bead on it using a Earl's beer and just put the hose right here, clamp it down. But unfortunately, the beer was out of stock. So yeah, I ended up having to replace the entire line with rubber hose and other parts. Alright, so here is top of the gas tank. Here's a fitting right here coming off the feed line. Here's return line right here. This is s10 by 1.5 millimeter, and I use that to connect to this particular part right here. Dash sets AN to 16 by 1.5 female. Get your part number right here, your price right here. There we go. So this to your gas tank, and yeah, they have many of these fittings in blue as well. Yeah, I'm just showing you the parts actually used on this particular job. Here's the specs for that product. They also have it in 14 millimeter for return line. I'm pretty sure I've seen 18 millimeter too when I was looking through their parts. So that part's going to connect to this part right here, 90 degree. Got the little bead on the end right there. That's a little bead I want to put on that pipe to that way I could just slide my brand new hose onto the pipe down right here. Unfortunately, the beer was out of stock, so yeah. There's your part number over here, price. Of course, it doesn't include shipping and taxes. You get 5/16, 3/8. Here's all the specs on this particular part right here. Here's the rubber hose I used, which I actually had left over from the Sniper EFI system I built in my car. Let's see what the price is per foot. Part number right here. Let's see. Here's the information on it. Here's the specs on it. Three-eighths. And they also had 5/16 from what I remember. With 225 psi. Negative 40 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. And here we go, the vapor guard hose. Here's there's a video right there you can watch. You can go to look at their vapor guard website on this, and you see it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. That video explains the multiple layers and what that you use for. Available in 5/16 and 3/8. And on the other end of the hose, this is the part I used to connect back to this dash 6 AN. There's a price for it, part number. That's a nice smooth bar I want to put on that pipe, but beer was not available. And it's like 2 days after they said it was going to be available, but it's still not available. So here's the specs on this particular part right here. Dash 6 AN 3/8. I used, and that of course that part screws to this side right here, which it's not a good side view. That's the only picture of it. The blue one I've actually seen has a nice side view, but this dash sits AM right here, and a screw on that. This part right here screws into my fuel filter, which is 16 by 1.5 millimeter, right here. Dash sits. There's your part number, price. There's specs on this. But yeah, a lot of these fittings, they're available in different sizes. I'm not sure this is actually available in other sizes as well, but uh, anyways, let's get to, here's the beater I wanted to use to beat that pipe, and see it's a 3/8, and there are bigger sizes. You can maybe click on find similar in stock. It'll show you other sizes like 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch, but unfortunately they don't have a 5/16 inch on this beater. So back when I called them up Monday, I'm like, where's your whole 5/16? And they said, we don't make one. Well, I said, well, y'all need to make one because 5/16 is the return line. How you expect people to beat their return line if you don't make the part? So people can buy it. So here's the information on it. Here's the specs on it. And so, yeah. Let's see, what is it going to go back to? And yeah, that's all there is to it, really. And this part right here was discontinued, like everywhere I could find it. And also, the place there was one place that actually showed a price for this part. It was $139. Now the price for these fittings, and let's see, what was it like? It was about 50 some dollars. But that, of course, that doesn't include the actual rubber hose because I already had that. So I got out a good bit cheaper by buying these fittings right here. Well, instead of buying the original part, which probably didn't have as good rubber hose as this Vapor Guards hose that I used. So, alright, so this is how it's going together. You got this part right here that's going to the gas tank, screwed onto the gas tank fitting. Got this elbow to turn down 90 degrees from the gas tank to our rubber hose to this part right here. I showed you on the previous screen, to this part right here, which goes I can keep my hands on it. Then of course that is going to screw into my fuel filter. So, you got the 16 by 1.5 millimeter going to dash 6AN to my 3/8 hose to dash 6AN back to 16 by 1.5 millimeter. And this is really my backup plan because what I really wanted to do was get the beater and bead the original pipe right here, somewhere in here, and then I could have just slid the rubber hose over the bead and just use the original line and screw it into the fuel filter with the original fitting. But unfortunately, Holley is currently out of stock for the beater, so I could not order the beater right now to do this job in a timely manner. So yeah, this is what I'm having to do as a backup plan to fix this truck. Alright, now here is the final product. So they're going from the 5/8 to, let's see, what was that, 3/4, 11/16 on those fittings. And so I got my hose coming down up underneath, going under here, and I'm going to go underneath the truck. And here's the rubber hose coming up to the fuel filter. Got it all clamped in. Hose going on up in there. I've got to put some zip ties in here to hold this all in place. And that's all there is to it. First thing, getting this bed off, undo your gas cap, which I got mine, threw mine back on just for temporarily. And then there's 1, 2, 3 little screws, which are 7mm, take out to disconnect this from the actual bed part. There is 8 bolts. There's 2 right there. There's 1, which is about the leaf spring, which is a little bit more of a pain to get to. And then this right here. All these bolts, they are all 15mm. Now the bolts that go onto the bumper down here, they all have nuts right there that are welded on, so you don't actually have to hold the nuts. So what you want to do, the 8 bed bolts, take the bumper off first. Then you got to start doing your wiring. These tail lights. So there's a screw here, and a screw here on the other side. Undo the tail light, and the other end just slides in over here. And once you undo that, you gotta deal with these little clips right here where the light bulbs go in, and there's these little catches that you gotta push in so you can turn it, so you can take the light bulbs out. And once you got all the light bulbs out, and oh yeah, all the clips. Let's see if there's any right here. So like there's clips like this, and they're all along the bottom of the bed on the very end right there, holding all this wiring in here. And part of this wiring right here actually goes into a metal like sleeve. Well, I'm not sure if you call it a sleeve or not. Anyways, just kind of goes through like it goes through right there. Goes through the bed over there. So yeah, it's a little bit time consuming. Might take an hour or two to do this, depending on how hard the actual bolts are to get out for the bed. I used a impact, so a 3/8 impact, to get the bolts out of the bed. Luckily none of them were broke, so thank goodness for that. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all there is. Get your 3 little screws off your neck, your 8 bolts off the bed. Of course, you got to pull your bumper off first because of the way the bumper goes around the tail of the bed right here. So yeah, you got to pull your bumper off first. You got your 3 lights inside of the actual tail. You got your tag lights you gotta undo from your bed, from the bumper. So yeah, it wasn't that hard of a job. And just need 2 people to actually pick the bed up and take it off. Somebody on each side. And that's all there really is to it. And it wasn't as hard of a job as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to take me much longer. I thought it was going to be much more of a pain in the butt, but not this time. And yeah, you might want to use the impact to get those bolts out of the bed. But yeah, don't forget about the ones above the leaf springs. Because anyway, I choose a swivel with a impact to help get those out. And yeah, that's all there really is to it. But yeah, it's really good to have you one of these little magnetic trays. Get these at like Walmart or Home Depot, probably Lowe's too, to help organize your screws and bolts and stuff when you're doing a job like this. And that's all there is to it.